What's going on YouTube? It's your boy JV, and we're here again with another Ultimate Beginner's Guide. Today we're going to be going over Rocket Raccoon, one of my new favorite support characters to be playing as. I recently started playing it a little bit more, and I love it, especially on Ranked. I ran into a lot of really good Rocket Raccoons on Ranked, and it made me go, you know what, I need to start playing this guy, and I can now entirely see why. Before we get into it, guys, if you guys haven't already, man, subscribe to the channel. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit that like button and comment down below if there's anything I missed in this guide, and if there's anything you guys would like to see in the future. Let's get right into it. So Rocket Raccoon, as I said before, is a support character. He can heal, he can do damage, and he's got some really good mobility. So I think we should start off with like one of his most important things, which is his mobility, which I think a lot of people that try doing Rocket Raccoon don't really utilize the best way possible. So like one, his base movement speed when he's just like walking around on the ground level, it isn't very good. So as you can see, it's kind of slow. It's just chug, 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 chug across, right? But you have two different ways of being able to move, right? So there's the shift, where depending on which direction you're aiming at, I press shift and I can hit my jetpack, right? I can do it actually twice, and then it goes on a quick little 3-second cooldown, and then I get the first one back, and then eventually I get the second one. Now his other way of being able to do movement is that he can run on walls like this, which is really cool. He can run on the ceiling, so he can fly when I jump off. He can, well, it's not really flying, it's more so just like hovering away. So if you're not utilizing this movement, you're probably missing out on some really good mobility, because this will allow you to get into hard to reach areas from other against the enemy team, and allow you to stand back and heal your team to the best of your ability without getting shot at. And if you do feel like you're in the back line and you're getting hard shoved, you would be able to shift away and then run on a wall. Like, you can't tell me that somebody is going to easily be able to keep up with you after you just did all that, especially if they just use all their mobility just to get to you, which in most cases people wind up doing so. Or if they just like ulted to try to get over by you, and all of a sudden like you're on the other side now. Like, even if I was right here and I just started, like, that was quick, you know, and I was able to reposition. And that whole time while they're trying to get me, hopefully I'm giving time for my tank or my DPS characters. I'm calling it out, and they're like turning like, oh shit, like let's protect our support. You get what I'm saying? So that's tip number one, would be to, you know, just be aware of the mobility you have access to beyond just the shift. You know, his a passive ability, being able to run and jump across stuff. Now let's talk about his E. So his E ability, which you want to place in very particular areas. You don't want to just throw it out in the open, right? So I press E, and this little station comes out. This is a respawn center, and as long as this respawn center is within the vicinity of my teammates, like you can see here, that bot died, and he will spawn right back in. And when he spawns in, there's like a little armor pack that he's able to grab, and they gave him a little bit more health, which is pretty cool. Now it does go on, I think, was that like a 35 or like a 40-second cooldown. But that allows you to, as soon as one of your teammates dies, to instantly get them right back up. They can grab a little bit of armor, and then they're right back in the fight. There is a little, I think there's like an ammo pack that as well that drops that allows Rocket to like speed up his shooting. But to be able to constantly pop that out every 40 seconds or so is pretty cool. That's going to help immensely in your team fight situations, when like a pick that would have thrown the game for you, just you get that character back in, and maybe that gave him the moment he needed to like get his ult, and like that can turn around the fight. So major ability there. It's just that a lot of people I've seen, like, they'll throw it like out in the open where people can see it, but then the enemy team can just shoot it out, and then that was a waste, and then now there's no respawn. Or if the enemy team can see it and someone died, if they're smart, everyone just like focuses on it real quick, and it will stop one of your allied teammates from coming back to life, which sucks. So you just want to be aware of kind of like what you're doing with that. Now for Rocket's ult, which is pretty cool, Rocket's ult increases the fire rate of everybody in the vicinity. So I throw it down here, and same thing too, like if you could put this behind like some natural cover, it will definitely help, because it can get shot out, even though it has a lot of health in itself. So I throw it up, and you can see like my fire rate went up insanely, and so did my teammates. And in terms of like the health bonus, I mean, that didn't really do much. So it's really just going to be the fire rate that you're able to do. And if you combine that with guys like Punisher, or if you have like a Bucky on the other team, pretty much anybody, to be honest with you, it's going to give you that bonus that is going to help you win fights at the end of the day. Now, you'll notice that like I started off this tip guide by talking more about like his support abilities and not really talking too much about using his little minigun. So this little minigun that he has is cool, but because it runs out after a short amount of time and a lot of characters are on the move, you'll probably find yourself constantly reloading. So mainly what you want to be focusing on as Rocket would be your healing ability, right? So when I right click, this bubble comes out. And when it goes near our teammates, it heals them, but you'll notice like it kept on going. It doesn't just stay with them. It has like this constant movement thing. So there's a couple different techniques you can do and to like keep the healing around your allies to make sure they continue being up. So as an example, it does do a bouncing ability where it will bounce off cover and it'll keep doing it. So if you have something with like a roof over you, this will just consistently just keep bouncing over and over and over again, and that will kind of help. Or like same thing, like if I were to shoot it past this wall here, it'll hit our boy off in the corner, and then it will bounce back off. But what you'll notice is, so like one ally can only get one of these the health balls at a time. So as an example, like I do this right, he's getting the health benefits from that one, but not the second one. So like see how like some of them go out faster than others. So instead of wasting, because you'll have to like reload it, I believe, after a little bit, because you only have 8, you want to do like 1, let him absorb, take a second, shoot another. Boom, take a second, shoot another. And on its way past like some of your allies, it will heal the other teammates as well. You just need to give it a second. So like heal, toss out, if you want to actually get like the true benefits of it. But typically in terms of playstyle for Rocket Raccoon, that's kind of what you want to do. You want to be in like hard to reach areas, focusing mainly on your healing techniques. Whenever you have your E back up, you want to just toss it down in areas that the enemy's not going to be able to easily see and just like knock out. And if you can utilize the fact that these health balls will bounce off of walls, you can, without even being in line of sight, easily support your team without your enemies like knowing even like where you are, where you're coming from, or even be able to get a clear shot on you without having to physically like get into the back line or go out of the way to come and find you. And then when they do, you can easily just shift, start climbing. I don't know why he's not. There we go. Fly away. And at this point, like there's like so much going on. Like let's say I got pushed like right here. Like I could easily just start climbing away and be on the other side of the map, which is kind of cool. So it just depends on like how you want to do it. So when you use Rocket as mainly a support and not for the fact that he's got like this little mini turret, which don't get me wrong, it does a good amount of damage. And when you pop your ultimate, yeah, like definitely you should get a little bit more involved in those moments. I'm sure you'll get some free frags, but you want to focus on the healing portion of everything and staying alive for your team with your mobility, and you'll be able to probably be the best support in the whole game, 100%, and sometimes even carry ranks. Now for Rocket's passive ability, which he can team up with Punisher or with Winter Soldier, it allows them to pretty much get like this continuous fire, because you remember like Winter Soldier usually only has like 3 shots in him, and then Punisher has a certain amount of shots to basically give Punisher like the ability to have what feels like an automatic shotgun, which is pretty crazy. So like I throw down the Z, and then it's just, they're just letting them shots fly off, which is pretty cool. So if you have friends that you're playing with, or I mean, Punisher and Bucky are both like really commonly used characters. So if you're going support anyway, but you want to do a support that gives like that added on bonus for the team, Rocket is really good for just this aspect as well. It's got a decent little cooldown there, but I mean, in between the fights, I mean, or like let's say a big team fight, you throw that down for your Punisher or your Bucky, like you guys are gonna come away on the other side of that for sure. But that's basically everything in terms of Rocket Raccoon guide. If you guys stayed all the way to the end, I appreciate you. Thank you guys for loving the support. If you guys haven't already, man, like the video. Comment down below if there's anything I missed, what you enjoyed from the video, and what you want to see in the next video. If there's any particular guides, if you leave them down below, I'll try to make sure I do them next. And then I'll catch you guys in the next one. GG's and peace.